turned on,
Like some
and then it
So
started.
that's this
Yeah.
the whole, and this.
You tell me what-
They left all the guys.
10:46.
Good morning, everyone. Who don't know me, I think there may be a couple people. My name is Rodney. I'm the acting president. We're going to start meeting at 10:46. This was a postponed meeting from last week. I was sick, so we didn't have a meeting the other day.
Exactly what I remember.
Yeah. All right, roll call. Lori.
I'm here.
Here. Teresa.
Here.
Law, present.
Linda.
Present.
Lynn. Karen. Present. We missing somebody?
Melanie,
Yeah.
absent.
Yes, she was sick. There is some more financial for this last month up here, and some more of the agenda if anybody wants to. Yes. Start the meeting at 10:46, which is January the 11th, 2020. And the change date over there. The meeting minutes, Melanie will have those at the next meeting. She's not here today, she's out, she's sick. We have the financial report in front of you. Any questions? All right. Any questions? You normally do this, she has this down further, we can do it probably at the end. We have someone who wants to be a new board member, he sends the application in, it's in the office. Mr. Courtney has been to the last several meetings, y'all met him. Is there anything you want to tell him, Mr. Courtney, talk about it, say?
Anything I want to say? Well, we moved to this community back in, well, I guess it's been a little over a year now, and we love Lake Bonanza. Beautiful, beautiful community. I've always been interested in getting involved in the community, whether it's been on a board or just getting involved in whatever activities and things are going on within the community. And that's always been part of my life, is just serve. I've been a customer service type person my whole life, ever since I was 15 years old, working at Sea Around Marine World in Galveston. So, anyway, I'm always available. I'm always open. I'll take calls and questions and inquiries. I am retired, so I'm pretty much available anytime. So, anyway, if anybody needs to ask anything.
Do I have a question for him? Yes. And I'll need a motion to accept him, a second, and then a vote. Okay.
What's his name?
Lori, his name is
Dwight.
Courtney. Did I get a second?
Second.
Need a vote?
Glenda, you've got to raise your hand.
I did.
She did, boy.
Read your mind.
I'm picking. I'm taking her for her. Quiet, you're in the audience.
Get on board.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Henry.
Welcome.
You actually took Tina's spot.
Yep. He could go
I'm
back to
so
Melanie.
you have a lot more time being retired. Really, really good.
I can understand.
Okay, the clubhouse and pool, we were kind of discussing we got a water bill, $3,300 some odd dollars. Don't hold me the exact amount, it's close to that. Which was a big shock. I got a call from Mike, who is their partial owner over Wagner, saying that you noticed a huge difference from the month before. And they came to shut the water off. They were going to come in the fence and check, but it was locked. It wasn't locked. I don't think it checked, but that's neither here nor there. It's not their job. So we've got a big water bill in there, $3,300. It's not the first time this has happened. There's been a couple of times where they don't check the meter for 6 or 7 months, and then all of a sudden we've got a bill from, this whole summer sometimes. We tried to get them to work with us last time because that water was going right back in the ground. It's not being used. They weren't very opt to do that. So we ended up having to do an assessment of $20 to cover those fees. They looked, they turned the water on, couldn't find a leak. We're going to do that again probably later, see if we can figure out what's going on. So that's where that goes. The pool, Mr. Pruitt, I don't know if he's here today. He's been over at the pool too, and of course Teresa and Chris would help him take care of that too. It don't look bad right now. It'll probably take 15 minutes to have it all clean. This is some stuff on the bottom. The rope light, the wheel is broke, right? I may still have one out there. Depends on how it broke. If it's on the body, I'll have to do the body. I've got a couple of replacements there over the years after rebuilt it. We'll check it out. Yeah. It makes a world of difference. That is the clubhouse and pool, the airstrip. Airstrip, we're still supposedly, we have this proposal that should still be out there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's part of the issue is we've had an ongoing bill since they didn't want to pay the insurance. We tried to raise on the lease that they had. We have an attorney who's working on it now. That we him again. But what's happened this month particularly is they want us to rent it to them, just Mr. Shannon, for $2,000 a year, and he wants to handle everything.
What do you mean by that?
He basically wants to be his property. He wants anybody else on it.
Does that mean he wants to handle insurance?
Yeah, he put us up, like, it's all still in the air. We really need the attorney to look over that proposal.
But it's like he wants to handle it, he wants to put insurance on it and everything?
Yeah.
So in essence, we're selling the airport to him for $2,000 a year?
Leasing.
Leasing.
The land, so he can use it as an airstrip.
But if he's subletting, then he's...
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of.
It's not something we're gonna do with this meeting. We have to show that to the attorney. We'll go from there. Part of what happened this month is, the reason I got to go to that is they cut off the locks we have on there. We spent $160 at can't duplicate key lock, brass lock, a little bit. And Dawson's keys to cut that lock. I didn't know that was him. All I had to do was call, have a key ring if it went over. I could have him cut, he could. But the gist of it is I put 3 more locks on it after that, and he cut every one of them. So this last week, with the gates with no locks on them, he says his hanger, I had somebody come by the house, the gist of it was, went over there, he had one of his generators supposedly was sitting at the front gate, right behind the gate, and then his door was open, but it wasn't Jimmy or broke. I don't know what happened there. I had no clue. It didn't look like there was another entrance. The sheriff's department come out, he couldn't find anything. So anyway, that's the gist of it. He's supposed to get some stuff stolen out of his hand. But if the lock was still on it, it wouldn't be that issue.
I drove out there, Rodney, the other day, and I did notice that door was open. It's the hanger that's way on the very end, right?
Yeah.
And then when I pulled out, I did see the generator sitting in the ditch right there near the gate, and I was like, well, that's weird.
Yeah, we called the sheriff's department. I called him. They showed up. He showed up 15 minutes later. I It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it either way.
Now, I drove all the way down the airstrip where it's paved,
That side, yeah.
you know, and it looks like it's very well maintained on that end.
Oh, they just cut it recently.
Like, and that there were, not sure if somebody's still using it to fly in and out of it.
Somebody said they saw it on the fly there a couple weeks ago after he told us there wasn't one here. It's fly, he's got 3 planes in there. I walked in there, make sure there's nobody in there at the time. He's got one that's absolutely put together, and looks like it's ready to fly. Then there's 2 more parts and pieces. There's also a big paint booth inside there, a huge one,
Yeah.
made for planes. So anyway, that's something we'll address with the attorney.
You know, if we release them, we have not been able to go in those hangars when they locked them, okay? If we would have been able to go in the hangars before, we would be able to say that such and such a thing was
Yeah,
stolen.
certain things aren't supposed to be in there. It's only supposed to be for airplane equipment, and which we know for a fact not true. And the reason we know that it's fact not true is probably 2 years ago now, I
They
guess.
admitted it.
Yeah, well, they said that, but not just that. The electrical lines that they had run to all 3, it was just one, it was split off into other, 3 different ones. Really old panels. The line was laying on the ground. Mid-south, the light was out there, so I called one to repair the light. They called me to come out. They pointed out, said we can't leave that like that. It's got to be disconnected. We need something from an electrician. The gist of it was is to make sure this is all done correctly. I notified them of that and told them it was disconnected, that they need to get it taken care of. In their lease, it says they're supposed to supply their own electric. They were on the board. They ended up doing it themselves. Well, the gist of it was is they had to repair that. The line's now been permanently removed. And then he turned around and sued us for meat in the freezer he has, and some other stuff. I went to court myself on that. They dismissed it. He didn't show up. He said he got to check my insurance for $800. Our insurance said they weren't going to do that, but that's our own insurance now. It was worth it, so who knows? There's several things that he was claiming, stuff like his compressor or something he said was messed up. I told him, call himself. We didn't disconnect it, they did. So,
Well, and the one pad they haven't paid, the
yeah.
stuff is stored.
He moved in without giving the board permission at the time, even though he was on the board, a whole other building with some pieces on the other concrete slab that's on the left-hand side of the gate. He's never paid a dime on that and has refused to move it.
Well, the fact that he keeps cutting the lock makes me think that he's got a lot of intention back there and a lot of interest for him back there.
Now, he told one of the guys that was there, Kevin, when he came by, he lives over here on Cessna, when he came by and installed the generator. He told him he's just moving stuff.
What about if we would just say that we would do this 2,000 a year thing? I wouldn't do it until he paid for that pad that he's been using all these years.
We told him if anything would happen, because they haven't paid for 3 years. He sent us a check last year, it wasn't signed. He was notified of that, didn't send us anything.
If we kept them cutting that lock, and is there something that we can do about that?
We had to ask the attorney, I don't know.
So we have another list of questions for the attorney.
Taking a quick wildlife camera.
But he had
Yeah,
been
let's-
in
I
one
put
of the
one up
papers
there.
that he
The
cut
problem is
off.
there's so much movement.
It's taking pictures every time something goes.
So if we're down the road or the bushes move, yeah, I look to a lot of pictures. So, okay.
Could we confiscate the property on that
We had to ask the attorney, I
pad
don't,
since he hadn't paid and maybe utilize that?
it's definitely an idea.
Yeah, that's a
We'll
lot.
pose that to the
Because
attorney.
I would think that would be,
Well, they only have a certain amount of time. We have to follow at least the
Maybe do an eviction process.
Well, he told them in the letter that they could not use the airstrip anymore, and that they were in violation of their own lease, and that they had, I think they get 180 days, 6 months
Yeah,
to move stuff. So
yeah, so that's,
we're still in that time.
yes.
well, when did that start?
Whenever we sent that letter, I can't remember the date now.
Yeah.
I can get it for you.
I want to say it was in November,
In
when
November?
it was finally,
In
yeah.
November.
Yeah, when they
When
finally-
they did it and so.
May, about May or June. It'll be up.
Oh,
No,
oh,
We can get to that. If I had my phone, I look over my phone in the truck. horse stables. We can get insurance, it's, I think you said it was $2,000.
No, it's $11.55 a year.
Okay, well, those payments didn't work out that way.
No, I don't know what she did, that was like $2,200. She must have done the one and added something on.
I think it's the $2,000 option she was talking about that would cover.
It's $11.55 a year. If we finance, it's gonna be a down payment equal to 2 months, and then 10 payments.
She didn't send that option, did she?
No, she didn't.
She only sent the one option for the
The
500
200.
Well, she probably did something, so when I talked to her on the phone, she said, whichever option you do, just figure on 2 months down payment and then 10 payments with 16% interest.
Yeah, because the one I got was 22 something.
Yes, she probably added that excess liability in there.
The one thing she did get back with me about is if the horse got out. I didn't see, you see anything in her messages about that? I saw if a kid got in, we would be covered and our legal
That
expenses.
was in there.
Also, she quoted personal liability per
Yeah,
owner, which was 270 per person.
Right,
Is that per person, per owner, or per horse?
person.
Per horse, I'm sure.
I don't know, each owner only has one horse, but
Well, I was just thinking in terms of.
somebody bought one.
Yeah.
They would just have to show that they are both insured. They probably get a cut on that if they have 2 horses under their own policy.
And that's required. That would be required.
And we also have to look at the leases. We really should be doing the leases today, but this has kind of been a hang-up. I know one of the biggest issues is whoever's not in compliance now, not even paid their dues the last several months. We can't renew that lease for sure until we get all that. There's 2 accounts that are still in
I'm
arrears.
paid up through the end
No,
of the year.
No, I'm not talking-
she's paid
Yeah,
We have 2 of them there.
I know, you're talking about me. I'm not playing.
It's not just
You get your money this
Yours.
month, I
It's
just
not
got
just
mine.
you.
I know, but I know, no, I will admit it, I
I
don't have
wasn't
this
going to
month.
mention your
I
name.
don't know what you're doing. Why
I
not?
wouldn't.
You know, it's me, so I'm
Yes,
on
ma'am.
this.
And it's been an ongoing issue, so. But,
You wanted the information about the horse guards.
yeah.
If a horse gets listed as hit by a car, this policy will only extend coverage to the POA. So again, if the POA was named in the suit, there would be legal defense as well as payout. Same as above. This policy will not extend coverage to the personal horse owner. Again, this would have to be covered by each horse owner under their own.
Policy.
So with this insurance, if something happens and we're cited, we'd have to secure our own attorney?
No, we've been through this issue before, even with the general liability, they secure an attorney
This
and pay the
insurance?
legal fees, yeah.
And there's no deductible.
No, yeah.
I saw that, but.
And that would cover, I said if the barn was full, 8 horses, that's quoting it full. So, we'd be covered with multiple extra horses.
Yeah, she didn't say there was a certain number of horses there.
Well, when I did the initial work, she asked how big the barn was, told her about the size of the acreage. And it was a maximum of an 8-stall barn. But really one is a feed room, so I said probably maximum, 7, maybe 8. And so that's how, she said that's okay. She said they'll do anything from 2 horses like the people have their own barn.
Thoughts, questions?
Well, we need to clarify the numbers other than as far as.
Yeah, whether
There's
it's,
a big difference between 1,100 and 2,200.
yeah, 'cause the down payment on the other one's like 5.
Like I said, she was, I'm betting she took the one and added the extra. So, when I talked to her, she said, you figure on the down payment. And I know even with Wortham, I'm not sure if our car,
Yeah.
we do a down payment and then they finance.
Well, the last 2 years, we paid completely.
Oh, okay.
We didn't
I know with
finance.
Wortham, we used to do a down payment equal
Yeah.
to 2 months.
Yeah, we had to, it was $23,000, but the ones this last 2 years have been like 11. So when because they're like 2 months, 1 or 2 months apart, I can't remember exactly, for the general liability and the others for the D&O. So we have just paid that cash.
Right.
But yeah, we need to figure out if we're still gonna be the same coverage under the 1,000 as she was telling us about the 2,000 though.
Yeah, because it's the 1 million per occurrence, 2 million aggregate is $11.55 a year. If we finance, it would be 2 months down payment and then 10 months financed at 16% interest.
And what was the difference on the 2,000? Or is that what you were?
Well, the other one was a 1 million per occurrence, 1 million aggregate for 1,080, only for a little bit more, you get the 1 million per occurrence, 2 million aggregate. And then there was another one that said if you want to add another $1,000, you get another 2 million excess liability, but, you know,
So we're gonna
I
figure
think
out.
right now it's 1 million per occurrence, 2 million aggregate.
Is there any questions?
What
What about the,
Yeah, and the cost, are we talking about y'all covering that?
Well, you know, we've discussed the budget based on, you know, figure out what would run monthly for the liability insurance, water, and electric. You know, I don't feel the maintenance, you know, of mowing twice a year should have to be paid also, because that's what the dues is for. A very small portion can go to things like that. I mean, I'm looking at our profit and loss from last month, and we're spending money at the pool even though it's closed, the golf course even though it's closed. So dues is going to all the amenities. And so as long as we keep a budget in mind and, you know, if we're going to some major thing like a tornado or something, hits the barn and it's demolished, you know, we have to monitor our repairs. And since we spent all that money this spring, I don't foresee that's gonna happen.
Hey,
Somebody left, I didn't see. Are you looking for her? She's in there.
oh, she's working on the books. Okay. I just can't remember what this 236 was for. But I'll check.
Because it looks like last month we spent,
You remember what that 236 was for on the pool? Or is it just under general maintenance? It may have been something under that.
I mean, I'm looking at utilities leaving in the pool, 544.42 in December. So, I mean, all the amenities are incurring costs, so I feel like you know, if you want
What's it
to.
run those pumps on now?
On the pole,
Oh,
they didn't offer the Big Mac, only turn them on for a couple hours.
that may be included in the clubhouse too.
I mean, if you look at like the electric for the stable, it says it was $58 in December. And the golf course water meter was $47.62. So that's for the barn and the golf course in case you're running a hose over there.
No, but nothing to do, nothing
So
to
I
do.
mean,
It's
again,
all
that's
farm.
not even $50, you know, I know it goes up a little more in the summer because they're going drinking more, but
We're not using that much water at the barn.
Those pool credits,
For last month?
they're probably the sweeping and all that.
I'll have to look at it. Oh, you know, that's probably for the trash pickup. That's under general maintenance, it has nothing to do with the pool necessarily. It's under general maintenance, but that's not for the pool. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily for the pool, it's for trash pickup. Down the neighborhood. Or at least some of it.
so I mean, if you figure about, you know, financing the note and then figuring in all the utilities, you know, you have to bump the rates, you know.
Probably.
are y'all willing to take on liability insurance? Because that'll be required.
I'm in the process of redoing my homeowner's insurance, and in fact, I'm working through Nancy, and she's doing my cars and everything, and I asked her to quote that for me.
Okay.
So as part of the lease, we're gonna add in the cost of the insurance. And, we don't know what that's gonna be yet, do we?
No.
Did somebody,
Well, see, the email I got said 2,200.
I know, but like I said, I think she added that
we
excess.
clarify that money, we're not gonna do it.
You know, when I
Not gonna
talked to her
make
on the phone, she was like, you know, the policy you choose, if you want to finance,
Right, I remember.
it's the down
Yes.
payment equal to 2 months, and then it's 16% interest for, it's to 10 months of finance.
Yeah, we may have to call a special meeting. Once we get that together, we need to figure out what the cost is going to be. You suggested 65, but that didn't include the insurance at the time.
Right.
Well, I had it in the budget at 100 a month because we weren't talking about financing it. So if you look at the budget, I had put in insurance for 100 a month for what was basically 1,200.
Patrons have to have their-
Yeah, they got it, because it'll have to be in there for them to have their liability insurance.
How much was the policy for the year?
We're not sure, that's.
1,100.
So
She
so it's still need to.
Yeah, she quoted us a couple different coverages.
Yeah, for the 1 million per occurrence, 2 million aggregate is $11.55 a year, but that was to be paid in full. If you want to finance, it would be 2 months down payment, and then 10 months financed at 16.14%. 60%.
All right, well, let's find out Monday, which make sure we have the same coverage under that policy as we would the $2,000 policy, because that's what she was telling us about. All right, I guess we'll table this.
And you want me to update the staple rules? I have to pull up the old one.
I've got it, I'm working on that already.
Yeah, she's working on that, and then in the lease, we'll have to require the liability insurance and for the
And
Pay for the
then,
waiver.
the retirement.
yeah, on the insurance. Okay. Was there anything else you want to discuss out of the bottom of the table?
Also, Francis, because we all agreed, to fix the front fence, that's been repaired.
Yeah,
So-
he says he still has some to do.
Well, down the gate down at the end that the guys were using for coming out the tractor and the,
Yeah, it says that fence on that side too.
the,
By there.
the post is just like that, but we've got posts there and I've got concrete at my house, I need to come get a couple bags. He has to
He
string
says he's
that.
got about a half a day.
Yeah, and then there's that fence line there, I think even Lori or Glenda noticed, I mean, that's part of the old original,
Yeah.
barely
Pretty
there.
bad down there.
And
All the way
then,
behind the airport's real bad too.
Yeah, well, thank God,
It's up.
they don't normally go back there.
Yeah, it's up, but it's up.
It's a suggestion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind helping Francisco that day he was there, I mean, I was there helping, gave him the supplies he needed and stuff for my garage, so, I mean, we got it done with, just labor, we didn't need him to purchase it.
You had enough wire to fix that.
We still have 2 spools up there, that's pretty decent.
good.
Yeah, that's great work.
The only thing I
That needs
couldn't
to be
get,
done at the other end.
and he put up the fence charger, but I think during the years of it being weeded and everything around there, there was some wiring come up.
It's brown wire out of the ground there, and then the other, it's just
Yeah,
still
it
in
kind
there.
of got like weed whacked, so I have to get some wire and
Short
slice
stitch.
it in. But we put the charger back up on there.
Before we, I'll tell you where the bond came out.
Oh,
I think she still has it at her place at home, doesn't she, Amanda?
Oh,
Her horse?
She brought Rob up there for some schooling. Because, the issue about the round pen and all that, she's got him up there where she's working him quite a bit.
Okay, I'm just,
Yeah.
bring this up because of what you said.
yeah, when you take your horse out, and like I took my horse out to my Palomino and got her trained. When I brought her back, you had to have a current coggins and current, all that paperwork to have the horse travel.
You're fixing to have to do it again anyway, with the lease.
Well, you might put that in the lease to say if the horse is removed for an extended period.
Anything over 30 days.
If that's a state law, then.
Yeah,
It's
but-
not,
But for their new lease, they have to
Yeah,
do all
it
that in anyway.
Huh?
For y'all's new lease, you gotta do all that in.
Yeah, we're gonna do it for.
Have to have a current copies and,
Yeah, I mean, we do it annually, but yeah, you're right. If a horse goes away with around other horses and then they come back, yeah.
shit.
So that would be a good stipulation to put in there.
So she took Bravo out?
Well, because she wants to work, she was trying to work with him a little more because he was really hard to catch in the pasture. So she brought him up to her mom's because she's got a round pen and a small corral so she can.
And she had mentioned bringing another horse in too.
Yeah, but then we didn't allow her to bring that one in, so she brought him up there for now too. But, I think if she would like to come back, but I thought she wasn't treated very well and harassed a little bit, so. And she's a very knowledgeable young woman, and we enjoy having her at the barn.
I don't think she necessarily harassed. They sent her a deal saying she's breaking the rules.
But, the rules are the rules.
The rules are the rules.
All right, well, like I
Everybody
said, I
has to
think
go
it'd
by
be good if we have the stable managers, maybe someone who knows about horses a little bit more.
Well, what
Hold on,
happened?
let me say something, let me say something here,
Put it there.
hold on,
No.
let me say something here. Stable manager doesn't need to know anything about horses, I'm not managing horses, I'm managing stable, I'm managing rules and regulations.
Okay.
Rules and regulations weren't being followed, that's my role. My role is not equestrian. person, I don't claim to be, all right?
Just put
So,
it in
rules are
something
rules,
in
as
there.
long as we follow the
I'd like
rules.
to update the rules a little bit about that, because we didn't need her around, and she was having a problem catching them, and she wanted to keep them working.
And all she had to do was say something, didn't he or any of us, you know?
Anybody.
Follow
She-
the
All
rules.
she had to do was, it says in the rules, all she had to do was ask.
Yeah, but I think someone told her she couldn't do it until the next meeting, and I mean, when you're dealing with a lot of animals.
Nobody.
I don't think that's what they
I
said, they
think
said
it
we go
was
to board.
in the email that she showed me that.
We asked James to do that, he don't have a horse, he didn't have an interest in a horse over there. That was part of the issue, that was being told to me anyway. So when he does that, we ask him to make sure those rules are enforced, we can't get mad at him because he doesn't. You know, and that's
I'm
what's the
just
rule.
saying there's a way to speak to people that's maybe a little.
I don't think he's being harsh, sometimes text and messages do that. We don't hear that emphasis, you know, the way we're speaking to people, and I understand that. But I know James, it's not what he meant. I know he was just saying she's breaking the rules, she wants to come to the board, she wants to be there, it's scary time.
The only thing is, we as board members, we are the ones that are representative of the rules around here. So if someone comes to us and presents us with an issue, then we, as board members, are supposed to say, this is the rule, this is what we need to do to follow it. I'm sure we can work something out even quickly. We're a
James
small
isn't on the
group.
board though, he's a
Wait,
homeowner.
hold
Is
on,
he
let me
covered-
finish,
is he covered
let me
under our
finish.
insurance if
Let
we
me
ever got
finish,
sued?
please. Let me
Yes.
finish.
James is,
How would he be covered?
he's covered, he's a member.
No, if we were ever sued regarding the state board, and he was also on the name.
Yeah, he's still a member, he's still covered under our insurance. He's
I
not,
don't-
he's not an officer
No,
or director,
directors and officers
Yeah.
coverage is only for the board.
the board. But general liability, if he was to get hurt, or somebody was, I don't know what he would be doing, if he's telling people the rules, not
Okay.
out there
No,
working
I
with
was just
horses.
wondering.
But as we are the ones that present this to
We're in charge of
the
making
community.
horses.
So if someone comes to you and says something, we, in that responsibility, are supposed to say, this is the rule. Now, because you have an end to the board, you can say, you can talk to us, we can talk and get this done. But we have to at least
And we
tell
can do
the
it over electronic
community
communication as long as
that this is the way
everybody
it's done.
agrees. And it's unanimous. Now, if there's one person that says no, it's got to go to a board. But that was just a rule. I mean, we're not talking about.
Like I said, that's fine. Point is moved.
Okay. Lake dams, parks, tennis courts. The lake is fine. We've killed 90% of the weeds. We're gonna start trying to spray it in probably March, I guess. Just whenever it starts growing back, we're still getting some around the edges.
I would like to just say how much I love the lake now. It is
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it?
amazing. I can't tell
A lot of
you
work.
how happy I am.
Yeah, it
We
looks a
have
lot better.
turtles, we have catfish, we have an otter, we have everything out there, and it's amazing.
Keep
Yeah.
Herberg.
Well, we took a lot of bids over 3 years. I just get bids 32 and 35,000, almost $40,000. And these people came out and it was much better.
It's amazing. If you ever need help or are happy to help spray or
Yeah.
volunteer,
And somebody wants
anything
to
you need.
volunteer, come on.
Huh?
Anytime someone wants to volunteer, come on.
Well, we've offered and haven't heard from anybody, but
But
anytime you need,
it's, yeah.
I don't know what we need to do to be more specific.
Yeah, it's hard, especially for like me, because I'm the one that does most of that stuff. With working, and then I've got 2 kids that are old enough to be doing stuff that they don't. And then all the other stuff that I do, the title people, the real estate agents, all the help with all the books. So it's hard, you know, I can't, if I say I'll be here Saturday, you know, who's gonna take care of that now? We'll make Dwayne mention.
My name like,
Dwight, I'm sorry. I think I said that twice today.
Did you change your?
No, it's Dwight.
not today.
But the lake is amazing,
He
and
said he
we're
had
so
plenty of
happy,
time. So,
was my point.
You need a.
the dam, they're still getting some erosion on the backside of the dam. The county has been bringing this through your, I think Richard probably just don't have enough time to help. Probably might figure out something else.
The charger is, not working, it's, been leaking hydraulic fluid, and then they say it's the motor, it's gonna cost like 13 grand.
Oh, it's our tractor?
No.
No.
Oh.
Your skid,
Skid steer.
yeah. Tennis courts is the same, they really need to be swept off, got a lot of leaves out there. Of course, it's still got fairly fresh paint and net, and it's ready to use. golf course, we're not doing anything with the golf course in there now, right now, we cut it every couple of weeks during the summer.
This is some flowers to barn, to be taken care of. This is,
Okay, is there a burn pile that needs to be done?
Yes.
Against the barn.
All right, yeah, it'll have to be a little further away from the barn, I think it's supposed.
I'm not touching that, I'm not doing that.
Well, if somebody stays up there, we can burn right there.
What burn, that one
The one
by the
next to the
cafe?
sea, I'm scared
Yeah,
of
right
that
by
right
the,
in the middle
the
line.
side, escape, north
That
side.
little pile with some wood on it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a couple of them we should burn.
I'll burn that, they stay there,
Yeah.
they watch
You
it.
burn,
Just
yeah.
do it on a day that it's not.
That's what I was asking, like, this one here.
I'm not doing it right now, but no, that's, I know.
Probably burning that
It's
already.
not really big, so yeah.
Yeah.
Not a horse person getting no smoke
No,
on
I'll
horses,
take care of it.
wanna make sure that they're out, you know what I mean? But
No, that's fine.
I don't wanna.
I'll just do that one by the barn.
But if you do it one morning, the horses all go to the opposite end of the
Yeah.
field and they'll come back right afternoon, so
Right.
that should be fine.
Excuse me, speaking of burn piles, that one that's by the lake where they cleared in the park over there, can somebody burn that as well?
Yeah, not right now. Yeah, just, it's been too dry to burn until recently. And that's been a situation that we couldn't do until recently. But hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be good. Okay. New business. Board use of the clubhouse. It's been suggested and talked about that board members get a day or 2 days or something to use the clubhouse or maybe a discount.
How many times have we rented it since it's been finished?
Rented it 3 times, maybe 4 times.
And what did we raise it to?
100.
100 for one day?
Yep,
Well,
and
for 4 hours.
75
For
for this
4
one.
hours?
Yeah, 75 for this.
Just use it once a year for free, basically, you thought.
oh, each one of us?
Yeah.
One time a year. Since the board gets nothing for all they do, that would be a little perk if somebody needed to use the clubhouse.
We're talking about 1 day?
Yeah.
One day a year would be fine.
For free?
Yeah.
But they still have to do like a cleaning fee or?
There's still, I would
You
think,
still have to put a deposit probably,
Yes.
and then if you don't clean it up, then.
but questions, thoughts?
Who uses that?
Who uses what?
What, the clubhouse?
Anybody?
No, of the board.
I've used it, I've paid for it several times.
That's just because we want to stay in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Your daughter had her wedding here.
My daughter, got married on the
Peninsula.
peninsula over there and had the reception there. And I paid for all of it, and my other daughter had her baby shower here, and I paid for that too. So,
Is there a limit on the time?
there's 4 hours.
Yeah, it would be just a standard room for 4 hours once a year.
Okay.
I think it's outrageous.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's what y'all want, then we need,
Yeah.
we need a first and a second to vote. That's why. Vote
Okay. You want to
in
vote
favor?
in favor?
Y'all listening? Vote in favor of board members using once a year, 4 hours. That's the same agreement. So make the spot. Yay, nay?
I don't see the benefit.
I just need a vote. If you want to abstain, you can abstain.
Abstinence.
No, you have too many kids.
I get to read. So we have, what is it?
I don't mind, so I don't want to see it, because you all do what I want, so I don't want to.
Yeah.
It passed.
Well, I'm the one that pays $100 on it.
I know.
She spent $200.
Yeah. In a couple months, yeah.
What if someone wants to, rent it that's paying, and you one the same day.
Well, it's not the same day. It had to be the
You only
exact
have
same
4
time.
hours.
Yeah.
If you wanted, what if you
It's-
wanted it
It's limited
the
to
same
4
day,
hours.
you could do 4 hours later or 4 hours earlier, I mean,
And whoever, like you said, whoever books it first,
yeah.
it's booked.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We sent the Abbott letter, it got returned. It's been past the 30 days since because it was sent to both regular mail and certified
What
mail.
was the letter?
No.
Letter for?
You're talking about a letter, I need to know what was, I don't know what you're talking about. We discussed in the November meeting that.
Please don't interrupt the meeting. If they have questions for you, I'll let you have it. Please don't interrupt the meeting.
Was this for her variance or what?
It's for having a second home on the lot.
Well, I think she said she's already signed something with the environmental that,
It's not.
that she will never do whatever they require to make sure it'll never be turned into one.
We haven't got anything. We have our letter returned.
No, I'm saying she said she signed something, she had to go down to the environmental
Right.
office and
But-
sign the waiver.
Yeah, I understand that for water. That's what the waivers are.
No, it's not.
That's what they told me. Anyway, the gist of it is there's 2 homes on one home site. It's still a deed restriction violation.
It's false
Um,
statement that you're making.
I don't see that.
It's false.
Unless you're in it.
There is no.
When it comes to a vote, we've already approved the money spent on the attorney to use that. She had 30 days to request a meeting before the board, and she has not done that. So
I haven't received a letter for which to respond to.
we have the return that says that you did not, you didn't take it. You left it in the mailbox.
No, I haven't
That's
received
not,
a letter.
listen, that's between you
in
and
my
the post
mailbox.
office. That's between you and the post office. Okay.
Do you have proof of this?
Yours
Yes.
is certified.
She got it.
Receipt.
So I didn't receive a certified letter. You're saying I didn't receive it yourself, and I didn't receive a certified letter.
I'm
So
saying
how am
that
I
you didn't
supposed to
sign it.
respond to a non-received letter?
Something between you and the post office.
No, sir, it's something between me and you and this board.
Okay. You knew at the meeting we were sending you a letter. You had 30 days to
Yet I
request that from the letter
haven't
to
received
send.
the letter.
It was sent both regular mail and
It
certified.
was returned unclaimed.
I didn't receive the letter, so therefore, how am I going to respond to a letter I have not yet received?
All right,
Is there any way to give her a copy of the letter today?
absolutely.
Yes.
So,
Go back and forth, but I'm just still saying if she signed something that's saying she did something, I talked to her.
What the county rules are, they supersede on the septic.
Right,
Okay, because their requirements are higher than ours on the septic.
right.
and
That
there
does
was
not
no
avoid-
violation.
The violation would be a second home. It's not just a storage room.
I
And
was saying because there's a
And that's
stove in there or
false.
something.
stove, refrigerator, there's everything in there. It's a full house.
No, sir. You are making up false accusations. There is no
And you
utility.
refuse to let anybody in the board come look.
No, sir, I have not refused to let anybody come look. I
You
refused
did.
to let you on my property
No,
because
no,
of
no.
your
I
harassment
didn't trust
of
me.
me.
I didn't want to.
I would welcome this board to come and verify facts that, number one, you claimed that my building was less than 5 feet from the property line. It's 5
Your
feet
guy said
10
that, not me.
inches. It's 5 feet 10 inches from the
Okay,
survey
listen,
line.
you are interrupting the meeting. Please
You
stop.
are accusing
Or I'm
me
gonna
of
ask you to
false things.
Okay, Ms. Abby,
Multiple
please
times.
leave our meeting.
I'll leave, but I'm not until I say, every claim he's made is false. It's 5 foot 10 inches from the
Listen,
border.
what you don't understand is it
There
wasn't a
is
meeting
no
when I got a
utility
complaint.
connected to this building at all. There is no sewer violation, which you have involved a government utility to come in and give me a violation notice, which was false. I went and clarified that with them. I got signed an affidavit to them stating there is no sewer violation, there will be none. And you yet have perpetuated this lie to this board, and you have not only that, you have now made them culpable in voting to send me a letter and your harassment
Already
of
been
me.
sent a letter. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
I'm happy to leave this meeting.
Susan's
You,
very
sir,
great. She's not here, so. we're gonna
are a bully
postpone
who
that.
harasses, and you'll hear from my attorney.
Okay.
And thank you for giving me, again, more evidence of your harassment.
Yeah. Oh, that one, sure. You want to accept the certified letter here?
Ms.
She thinks it was me, had nothing to do with me. Both times I got a complaint from someone else. I have to address that. This place was too close on one side. That came from her guy. The guy that works from her said it was less than 5 feet. When I asked her if she wanted me to double check it, she refused to let me on her property.
Why don't we,
In the last meeting, we asked if, we could just go through it and see what it was like inside, and she said, no.
She said no, she was not so. Bonnie
So
said
she's
she,
got this wall like.
one of the board members could go and look at inside.
I'll
the building.
approach
She
her.
said no.
well,
But I've been talking to her about that homeless guy anyway, and I'll go and ask her if I can go in there and look.
Yeah, but you
Take
text me
someone-
with.
yeah,
I'll
take
go
someone
with
with you
Okay.
and
Yeah.
measure
The back of that little building to her property line.
The
Yeah,
truck
do
on
that.
either side. It's got to be.
Yeah.
He says it's a little over 4 feet. The guy that helped her put it in.
Okay.
So I got a complaint from the
We
neighbors.
can go over and we'll measure, because those, I'm sure the survey stakes are still.
Yeah.
What street is it on?
She's the one
In
that's
the
got.
corner by
it.
Park and Beach,
Right
right?
on the corner of Beach, before you get to the little park
And we
driveway.
do have pictures of it. She put it online for sale.
It's kind of right in
It's
a
a
curve.
full-time home.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. She,
And the pictures are available, I think, you've
she
seen it.
got her variance to
Yeah, I
leave
think
her
you
house
said the same again.
Right.
14 feet in our park.
Right.
We gave her the variance, and now she's over here having a walleye fit that we're being mean to her.
But she's made statements that her son was gonna live there, and she's made.
She said it here to me.
Yes.
So,
And
yeah,
she's,
people call.
her son has come out and, screamed at us and everything.
Oh, it was much worse than
Oh,
that.
I know what,
Yeah.
I know what.
And I went over and there was a truck parked in front of the park. And a neighbor called and said, look, he can't get in the park and we'll put his boat in. I get there, there's a white Chevrolet pickup sitting in the driveway of the park. The gist of it is he started screaming, you're harassing my mother. I didn't know it was even his truck or it was coming from that property. Screamed and hollered that if I ever killed anyone, he says, I'm gonna kill you. So the gist of it was a big deal because I carry my gun legally and if somebody's threatening to kill me, I'm gonna use my weapon. I didn't have to do that day, thank God. The sheriff's department come out and they're handling it. So,
You want her to give her this?
I'm sorry, she'll take it.
You want to give her this?
Ronnie, did you have to pull your gun on him?
I loaded my weapon.
So,
That kind of
so you
scared
registered,
me.
you
I
didn't,
know you
so
felt
you didn't see
threatened,
it?
but for our insurance purposes and getting sued or something.
Well, I was out in my truck that day
Yeah.
and he come running at me on the road. I wasn't in the driveway on the property. So, threatening to kill me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had no clue
Yeah,
who he
but-
was. I didn't know
Yeah,
who
there
the
were
truck was.
4 people
Did he
that
have a
everybody's
weapon?
being mean to.
Yeah, he had a tuba hole.
Act like that. She's, her family's the ones that's doing the harassing and
Yeah.
When
everything
someone
else.
came running at you with a two-by-four screaming and threatening you.
You're well within the law, trust me.
Yeah, no, I just didn't know if he,
It wouldn't matter
What
if
he had to
he
do
didn't
with
have a
it.
weapon,
He had
he
a
didn't have
knife
anything.
or
Once he threatened to kill
whatever.
me, he had.
It's the castle law, Mr. Greener, if you're in your vehicle, you have the right to have this weapon.
Like I said, I didn't know it was her, I don't know how I could be harassing her, because she wasn't there. The other thing was the house, and it was a complaint, which I have to take care of. You know, somebody telling me something, and when I see online, are completely opposite of each other. There's full color photos where she was selling the property, trying to sell it before she moved here on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Beautiful little house on the inside. I mean, full bathroom, full kitchen, whole bit, wash and dryer. So, all right, I think that's everything.
And now she's trying to
I have
claim
one thing
it's
I want to
a
ask
store.
you.
Okay.
Regarding the new acreage tracts outside, wasn't that determined by the county that that is not part
Not
of
the
the
county.
subdivision?
Not the
I
county.
remember us
Yeah,
talking.
we talked about it, because the county called you, said that one of the lots they were selling, they couldn't find along Lake Bonanza, they didn't find a plat.
Well, the county was asking that it had ever been recorded by the developer. and
Right,
said
that plat.
No.
Right. Well,
So
the
that we're
problem,
not billing them out there anymore,
yes,
right?
some of them we are, because some of them would come from the original corporation, Bonanza Corporation, which was signed over to us in '63. I've been back and forth with title companies on this. No matter what we do, if they can get them to sign off on that, let them do that. Title company won't. So we've expended a lot of money, attorneys on that.
We have an attorney now on it?
We have, and it's already been, I spoke with
Okay.
We have the old stuff from the attorney
I was
that
not aware,
that
I
dealt
thought
with
it
it, that we
was
still
for
have
not
filled out.
William Gonzalez's,
He
but
has.
I'm asking if there's any way, because this relates to me and my life directly, if there's any way I could present, because I've actually done a lot of information, or, you know,
Yeah, it'll have to be at the next meeting.
but when I spoke to you and I asked you if I could talk to the board about this, you told me that the agenda was full and that I wasn't able to
No,
do this.
Jenny wasn't full, it was already piled.
My entire, everything has been put on hold because of this, and I have information that I'm asking you to allow me to present to the board regarding this. And I'm asking that you just let me present information so that you can go on.
There's nothing we can do with it today. If it's not on the agenda, we literally cannot do anything
This
with it.
is my life, and it's been held up over this situation, and I believe that the information that you've told me over the phone, and I have, that's incorrect, and I'd like to present the information, and I'm asking that you recognize this because it is directly
But I can't,
impacting
it's
my
state
life.
law. If it's not on the agenda, I can't do anything about it. It has,
And the
if
board
they,
agreed to hear it?
no, not even if the board agreed to hear it, they can listen all they want. If she wants to talk to them, that's fine. But we can't do anything on that account that we can call a special meeting, the board wants to do that. But once this agenda is filed, that's it. We can't add anything to these.
How soon can you,
I'm
Call
almost
it special
positive,
meeting.
I remember our conversation in the meeting that we said, it's been determined, none of the tracks were
Right.
ever
But I've been
cut.
dealing with this since then. We have lots 1, 2, and 3 used to belong to LJ,
Walker,
LJ Walker, that first one next to the deal. We spoke with him, spoke with his attorneys. That's definitely part of Lake Bonanza. Now, there's 2 of them in the middle of that one and hers that did not show up being part of the Bonanza Corporation. The one that her grandmother bought was bought from Jim Fuller originally,
Right.
under contract for the Bonanza Corporation. So it's one that was still tied in.
So
But the Bonanza
the
Corporation was,
information that I have
Fuller,
is
not-
not,
Yeah, Bonanza Corporation was actually, there's a whole set of things where he transferred
So
everything from Bonanza to Lake Bonanza.
I've spoken to the district attorney regarding this. I've spoken to the Montgomery County Appraisal District. My actual legal description was incorrect through the Montgomery County Appraisal District. It had me indicated as being a part of Section 4, which I believe may have led to some of the confusion because I received an invoice from this board saying that I owe $9,000.
It's a little under 8,000, a little over 8,000,
I
87.
have a
I
copy
believe
of the
It's
invoice.
not, it should be 9,000.
It's close, I read
But
it.
with the settlement offer was 2,500.
I have a copy of the invoice. So I was. I'm gonna,
8,800.
yeah, and
But
I have
listen, you can get used to
information.
them, but they can't address it today.
Okay.
How long
That's
does it
what
take
you-
to call a special meeting?
It would be up to the board. Yeah, it would be up to the board.
So
They
y'all
have,
could call a special meeting right after this meeting?
no,
No.
they have to have 72
I'm just
hours.
asking.
No, state law requires, 209, requires that we file the agenda 72 hours before the meeting. That gives anybody who wants to address that issue time to address it.
I also have copies from my direct neighbor that was sent directly from you and signed by you that indicates that the people on Highline are not part of this
I
subdivision.
think it's when they were requesting information.
I
Is that not what they said?
actually have another letter that indicates, do not trespass on my property.
That's
that you
determined.
sent,
Mhm.
That indicates that, again.
That
we're
wasn't
not
to
part
all
of-
of them, that was to Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah, but
Gonzalez.
you directly indicate in here and your neighbors on Highline as not being part of the
I don't
task.
remember the letter, but I'm
So I
sure we
have
got
that
copies.
in writing. Where are you on that? Her directly, her neighbor.
Well, there's some,
Borderline.
you're saying some are in and some
That
aren't.
I-
Some of them
spoken to
were
all
sold
the
by
people.
Jim Fuller. The deed shows Bonanza.
Excuse
Okay,
me,
and if
sir.
you go back and look at under the
I
deeds,
am-
you'll also, Lakeland or Bonanza changed everything over to Lake Bonanza, because we didn't have any rights to residential
So,
property.
okay, so Karen's
In
here.
63, that's when we were taking
Here.
care of it.
Never-
Karen's here.
Okay, it was
But
never-
if she can find a way to get the county to sign off on it, here.
The whole thing is that.
But right now, the
the
title
county-
company is the problem, because she
The
didn't.
county, no,
Okay,
the
what's the title company?
title company is not, I've spoken to, okay, I'm very fortunate in the fact that that I have, through my work and what I do, that I was able to, I got 4 hours of free legal counsel on this matter. And they, we discussed this. And
So Tyler County says.
I don't believe that that we can cherry pick who is and is not part of the subdivision. This entire 150-acre tract right here that was transferred over from Fuller to the Bonanza Corporation in 1962, okay? This entire, you had me indicated a section 4, that I'm not part of that.
We'll have to discuss this either a special meeting or the other, because we can't do anything about it.
Okay, well then I'm asking that you allow me to do that because this is directly impacting my family. And so.
And we have, that's what I told you, we have a process.
No, you told me I could wait another month.
No, he said a special
At
meeting.
first, that's what he said.
Yes, from the get-go, I told her over
So
the
right
phone.
right now, we just approach the board and ask, can we request a special meeting to take care of this problem?
That's gotta be done too. This has been a long, ongoing process. We have to have it in the mail. So I told her last week, she could drop it in the mail. Even then, I could have requested a special meeting. If the board decides they want to call one, they can do that.
That's what I'm asking.
I don't think A should be a part of the subdivision, because we don't give them lights, we don't give them
Yeah,
anything
have
down
you ever
there.
even are you sending anybody a bill on
Yes,
that
we
entire
are.
byline?
The ones that
Because
Tyler,
some of my neighbors.
I'm not gonna get into this right now, because trust me, it's been a long, ongoing process that only one person knows about. But if anybody else wants to start taking care of that, they're more than welcome to do it. I don't like it.
Who's the attorney that her stuff was turned over?
Originally, it was turned over to, you're asking me now, the same ones that we hired. No, it was, she knows about it, she went to the meeting.
Oh, no.
It starts with a D, Daughtry and Jordan.
About her dues?
Yes, no, that was Mr. Coleman I spoke with over the phone. Yes, her dues.
So it wasn't turned over, you just spoke with them?
Daughtry and Jordan had this for a long time.
No,
They
have
don't
the-
currently have it, because when I spoke to you over the phone,
Who'd you?
when I originally contacted you because.
Okay, this is something I can't deal with. It's gonna be the board,
What
the
I'm-
board, the board.
What
I
I'm
can't change
saying
what it is.
you had indicated to me that the reason why it was this high was because of
No,
attorney fees.
I took none of that into fine.
Yeah,
It
but
was-
you
that's
went
what
back,
we
you're
bro-
going
we
all the way
dropped
back
it
from
to-
2003.
Right, we dropped it to 2,500.
But you're going all the way, and I don't even think that's legal, sir, that you can go all the way back from,
It's not.
this
The
was a gift
2,500 is-
warranty deed that was transferred into my name
All right.
because of the family tragedy
I understand.
that's occurred this year.
I understand. We went through this. I spoke with you, I spoke with the title company. The title company says they won't sign off on your title
I have
insurance
2
until it's
other
off the
neighbors
tax
that
roll.
have agreed.
So that's the two, really, if they get that off the tax roll, then we won't have to deal with it.
No, I'm asking you.
You said that, hold on, you said they took it off the tax roll? They agreed
You
with you?
have a letter in your hand, sir, that indicates that that it had already been determined that this
No,
is
it hadn't been
not part of
determined.
Lake
It
Bonanza.
hadn't been- There's
So
things changed
it is
since then,
in
and Karen
writing.
obviously didn't know about. So this is the reason we need to deal with this at a regular meeting, unless somebody calls it a special meeting.
Can she call the special meeting by sending a Lake Bonanza an email?
Yeah, I don't care. Y'all are okay with that? That's fine with me.
It's fine with me if you send us a letter.
affecting my life.
If this isn't something we can do today, though, I mean, we can't.
You just don't want.
No.
No.
We can't by law.
Listen,
not.
they can be president now, I don't care. The point is I can't legally do anything with it unless it's on the agenda. I don't make up the agenda. Okay, the lady that sits
So
over
it'll
here.
only take 3 days anyway.
I'll just wait another week.
When did you request in the past that it be dropped to the board? How long ago was
I
that?
spoke to him over
Right.
the first time I had heard about this in my entire life. My grandparents lived on that property since 1963.
They bought the property prior to the.
My
POA
grandparents
before.
purchased the property
There's-
prior
there's
to the
actually
POA
deeds
ever
after
even
the
being
POA.
formed.
60.
So when did you talk to Ronnie first?
Friday afternoon.
And the
And
agenda's
the
already
first
filed.
time I had ever
So this is a
received
postponed meeting.
information in my entire life regarding any of this. And I've been told, you have it, I have it in attorney's office, fees, I mean, just bam, bam, bam. Okay.
All that was marked off at 2,500. I am authorized to settle dues at certain rates.
I understand.
Okay.
But I feel like
And I
I'm
offered to
targeted
even finance
because I
that
don't
for
think
you.
that my
I told you,
neighbors
yeah.
are being built, and I don't believe.
Your other neighbor's being built.
I
There's
don't
only two of
think
them
that
where
you
it's not.
get to cherry pick.
And they got their, all their dues from 1 through 3 on Mr. Walker's old property as a new man, are paid for, 10's paid for, and I think it's 8, they're all paid for.
That's
They're
not
all
what
part of
Mr.
the
Walker
POA?
is saying.
Yes.
That's not what Mr. Walker.
That's what their title company says, and that's what their attorney says.
Yeah, because I'm looking at her lot, and it says it's section 4, the legal is saying Lakeman Inn's is section 4, and that was never.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
it's
I believe that that's what
Listen,
caused
tax
this
people are the best way to go,
problem.
because if
So
they don't
what
come
I
on
wanted-
our tax roll every year, I don't have to do it.
Right, that's not correct, we never.
I just know what the guy that called 1 through 4 says, he says if we take him off, he's suing.
So what I have to tell you.
Yes.
So what I
We
have.
got Cassidy, I think is his name,
He
Shannon.
wants to be on
Yes.
in the POA?
Yes.
He has the 3 lots.
The very first 3 next to the airport drive.
Did they correct it?
Yeah, he bought those, actually number 10 too, he owns,
The
I think it's
Montgomery
1.
County Appraisal District actually changed the legal
Is
description
there any way to
because
tell
they were
people
able to
if they can
verify.
see whether or not they
that
want to
I'm
be
not
part of the
part of Section
POA,
four?
to use
So
the pool, or if that's,
If they're paying their dues, they can use it.
because that's kind of a, if they're not.
It's a hard situation, because if they take it off the tax roll, I don't have to deal with it.
So the Fuller never recorded it with the county, never platted it.
And that's what the county's saying on the tax roll, but they still haven't removed it. I got a brand new tax roll, I don't want it.
I remember talking to the county guy who was like, that was never platted and recorded by Fuller.
Yeah, but he didn't tell you why it's still on there, and why they removed it.
I just feel really bad for her.
No, I understand. That's the reason I offered to finance it out over 18 months.
Establish a time that we can all get together.
I thought we can only charge for 4 years.
No, we own the district court, but there's, in that 2,500, that still doesn't include all that.
I was just wondering, I thought I heard that we can only go back 4 years.
Yeah, because 8,800 is, I don't even care about it.
It has to be filed 3 days prior to the meeting date.
So if she said $204 for 4 years, that's like.
It's an acre, so she's at 300. There's a specific rule, just like the ones that were behind that lot, so, Mr. King,
Where was it saying that our use is higher on acreage?
can't make more than 4 lots and make the acres that price. I'm not doing that much, but it's,
How much if I'm not?
we'll pull it up, listen, the simplest way to do it is get them to take it off the tax roll, and we'll stop billing all of them.
I need an invoice.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have to ask who to take that off? It's
The
saying
county, yes.
saying section 4, and that's not right.
I just got a new tax roll last
I
Monday or
have
Tuesday,
the
and it
Montgomery
still has it all on
County
it.
Appraisal District have updated this, and I have a copy of it right here.
Send it to me. I haven't heard from you. I told you to call me Monday, I didn't hear back from you.
Yeah,
Your title company called 3 times.
The way, Friday, the way that works is, even if the central appraisal district makes changes, what they'll do is they'll send a tape over to the tax office. But sometimes it
it's the
doesn't
same.
get taken off until
3 months, 4 months later.
Right.
I know, but that's the reason you can't just use the appraisal district for billing for lots.
Do you
You know,
need
when they
this,
transfer.
the
The statement?
the statement?
No, I,
Oh,
Okay,
shit,
I thought
you
you
needed that.
said you needed it.
Yeah, I need to. Okay, all right.
just take
Okay.
this, I'll take it.
Now, are we gonna make a motion?
Yeah, we're just making, no, we can't make a motion on this. What we need to make a motion on is
Adjourn.
adjourn.
Okay.
I make the motion.
All right.
You're waiting for me, right?
At least,
You're waiting for me, right? I'm waiting.
Or yes, I
Okay.
can say.
I'll take it.
Okay. Okay.
I know, Mom, and it's just 10,000.
You know, whether it's especially if you up to the board.
Right, that's, but.
But the guy that bought
What
Walker's
happened?
planning to put homes there, and then he wants to sell it, saying it's part of the corporation, and
Say it one more time, I'm
the
sorry.
guy that bought Jeffrey,
Yeah, Mr. I think his last name's Shannon. I can't remember.
and he
I
wants,
can
I don't know where he's planning to go home, and then he wants to.
Yeah, well, what it is,
market them as
what's-
part of the subdivision.
Definitely. His property values are tremendously different. Once they take it up, they'll lower those. He wants to be part of it, but see, the issue is it's tied up because what Mr. Walker So I had to deal with their attorneys, I had to deal with the other guy's attorneys.
All we have to do, she can just send an email,
He says
call
it's all,
the meeting,
what do we say?
What's partial ownership?
and
Yeah.
Even on the county website, it tells you if you own 50% or 100%.
Let people
Split. Yeah.
up here.
So it's an issue I can't answer, that's the reason I told him to come to the board. I can't just say you can't be in the subdivision, and your title comes saying, if you don't give me something, what she owes, we're not gonna give her, and she ain't gonna get her own. So I can't say yes or no, it has to be a board decision.
Wow,
So that's,
that's wild.
I feel for her, I do.
Just kind of hang around.
I don't know what else.
That's his lady.
I told her we have to have 72 hours. And now, the reason it fell back between this one, this was a postponed meeting, we should have already provided. Used to, they just didn't have it. They used to, we tried to keep having it.
The consolidation going out to section 4 now, did they put everybody in section 4 now?
I don't remember, I haven't even looked at theirs. The only time I even looked at that is if there's a request.
It used to say new acreage or something on the.
It used to say section 4 new acres.
He should get one of these.
I don't know what it says now. I haven't looked. I haven't, in breaking distance, way behind the tax office. But she keeps them to remove it. I don't get the money.
Yeah,
He only gets the money. I don't think he does.
I feel for them.
I mean, is there a way to just say all that? Like, I mean, you notify everybody and say, hey, it's either in or out?
Not that, I don't know if the members can make that decision. It's like I said, you got one people saying they want to be in the subdivision. The next one saying they don't, and the tax company has them on our tax rolls. So before, there's other things going on at the time.
I mean, in case aside, like, in the future, just like, send everybody that's in question.
We could be in the
Well, that's all it says is like,
Yeah, I know.
They got them all in section
And if you look at their deed, the original deed was transferred just from Chiefs to whoever owned it before them, which was, I think that was L.D. Dennis, I think it's. Hey, Linda, wasn't it L.D. Dennis that owned that property before, down there where Terry and them are at, or do you know? L.D. Dennis, Mr. Dennis? John, remember, don't remember, he's on the board once or twice too. Yes, we're done. We didn't get the vote, but I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Buenas.
All right, everybody, yeah.
We're done, out.
Okay.
Sean Lyon, not actually out.
Okay.
Get that stuff